What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another collaboration beer. This time between the North Park Beer Company, and they're out of San Diego, California, and the Tripping Animals Brewing Company, and they're out of Durrell, Florida, and this is their Drip Trip. So they're calling this one a dry hopped hazy triple IPA that comes in 10% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review, this can is approximately 4.5 weeks old. I'm gonna give a huge thanks shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Sierra Hotel, for this beer. So big thanks to him. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies he sent my way, and he sent me a couple North Park beers, and this is one of them, and I can't wait to get into it because it's one of their triple dry hopped beers. A lot of them have been delicious. I've had a handful of their beers in general, but these triple dry hop beers, whether they're hazy double IPAs or hazy triple IPAs, are usually good. Now, the hops in this one are Nectaron, Nelson Cryo, Riwaka Cryo, Citra Cryo, Citra Incognito, and Nelson Sauvin Sub-Zero Hop Kief. So a lot of things going on, but you basically have a Nectaron, Nelson, Riwaka, 3 different kinds of Citra, and Nelson Sauvin Sub-Zero Hop Kief. So anyway, let's crack this one open, get it in the glass, see what we got going on here. I have a sneaking suspicion I will enjoy this one. I'm just curious about the hop burn with a lot of these triple dry hop beers, no matter who brews them. They're using so many hops, and they're dry hopping them so many times that a lot of times that hop burn comes to the forefront. And I know there's a lot of you out there that love that hop burn. Me, yeah, occasionally very mild, but when it's like very prevalent and prominent, not for me. So yeah, there's a beautiful darker honey orange, kind of murky, turbid look to it. Has just under a finger of an off-white, super creamy looking head. Yeah, you can't see through that. The turbidity is through the roof. Hold it up to the light. Yeah, you're not seeing through that. But that plays the role of a huge hazy triple IPA for sure. Let's get a nose. Oh, what? Man, that smells like concentrated fruit juice, but like a mixture of like tropical and stone fruits. Wow, it's like grape juice meets like pineapple juice. Some kind of stone fruit juice, like if you had like maybe a peach or an apricot juice. And then there's underlying like orange grapefruit juice. It's just very juicy and sweet, concentrated. There's a little bit of like a green kind of tomato stock thing going on in the nose. It doesn't have a hop burn scent. Like a lot of times when I get hop burn in a beer, I usually can smell it. The aromatics will indicate to me, yes, this is going to have some hop burn. This does not give me anything whatsoever that indicates there's going to be substantial hop burn here. Little bit of like a honeydew or a cantaloupe, like very saturated, fleshy, maybe papaya, like fleshy, over-ripened fruits, but also just like the fruit juice of those fruits. It smells sweet, somewhat candied-like, but doesn't quite reach the candied kind of vibe. And probably coming from the yeast, as indicated by many viewers out there. Whenever I say vanilla nowadays in some of these, hop forward beers, whether they're triple, double dry hop, whether they're hazy doubles or triples, a lot of folks with the yeast, the different yeast they use for hazies in New England, a lot of times you'll get bubble gum. You can get cotton candy. For me, I always associate that with more of like a vanilla. So that's what I'm getting here. I feel like the yeast is ramped up a bit in the nose. It smells fucking dynamite. This smells like a 10%, but I don't know it's 10% glass of fruit juice. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Sierra Hotel. Fucking dynamite. Man. Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit, so very mild hop burn on the finish. Very mild. But because the beer's so dry on the palate, like it has this nice drying, but it almost has that drying green hop burn dryness. But it's not like a lot of these other beers that I've had recently, where like I had a monkish one recently. A lot of folks in the comments said that maybe it's because of the Galaxy. A lot of brewers have been having issues with Galaxy over the years, last couple of years that is, and some breweries won't even use Galaxy hops because of it just gives this very astringent kind of feeling now, depending on the crop and the batch and everything. But it has a very, very mild hop burn, an enjoyable hop burn. Like this is so when people say, what can you handle in terms of hop burn or green astringency? This would be the limit for me. The body on this one isn't as thick as I thought it was going to be. It's like a higher side of medium, lower side of full, 10%. A lot of these, when they look like this nowadays, there's a lot of breweries out there that, you know, brew these and all of a sudden they're like straight on full body. This isn't straight full body. It's like higher side of medium, lower side of full, but it's appropriate for what I want out of a 10% triple dry hopped hazy triple IPA. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, has a creaminess to it. It's not upper echelon as far as the mouthfeel is concerned, because it has a little bit more carbonation. It's mild to moderately carbonated, and it's not as smooth and creamy as some of these can be, but it's still very nice. The taste, this is hop juice. This is, you know, fruit juice. This is hoppy fruit juice, we would say. There's like a, you know, a fruit bowl in my mouth of everything you want from like a hop forward beer, really. There's a lot of, at the beginning, I get a lot of citrus. I get sweeter ruby red grapefruit, sweeter orange. After that, I get a big blast of stone fruit, peach and apricot, definitely. Then I get like an overripened pineapple. There's a little bit, again, that like cantaloupe, that honeydew melon, papaya, sweeter, again, sweeter, fleshier, overripened fruits that starts kind of getting into the, you know, juice category. However, about 2/3 of the way, 3/4 of the way through the palate, you're getting all that sweet, you know, juicy goodness. The malt's providing the sweetness. On the back of the palate, though, it finishes full on dry. There's a mild bitterness here, more dry than bitter. A lot of times I talk about, like, when I get a hazy nowadays, I want something to combat that sweet, juicy, fruity goodness. And a lot of times if you give me like a moderate bitterness or a full-on dry finish, I'm happy with it because it doesn't finish too sweet. You can drink it and it doesn't become cloying and a chore to drink. And this is nice because it does have that firm, dry finish, but it only has a mild bitterness, and I'm okay with that. If it didn't have that firm dry bitterness or dryness, then I would be upset because the bitterness cannot combat the sweetness here. So it balances out some degree. It still leans a little bit too sweet, but I'm gonna have no issue drinking you know, one of these cans. Would I drink another one? No. It's 10%, but it would probably be a little bit just too much of a good thing after one can. 10% hidden extremely well outside of the body and just the impact of the flavors. Yeah, I mean, I can tell it's 10% because of those two things. But like, is there any like alcohol toxicity? Is there any warming in the chest? No, and that is a scary thing. As you can see, I'm drinking this down quite easily. It's like fruit juice with a firm dryness. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. It's like, if you like fruit juice and you wish maybe sometimes it wasn't as sweet as it is, this is what that would be with 10% alcohol in it, and you can't tell. It's pretty damn tasty. I really enjoy it. What do I knock it? Well, I knock it a little bit for the mouthfeel not being spectacular, and also that mild hop burn. Why? I don't like hop burn really at all, but I can handle a mild hop burn, which is what I'm getting with this one. I would say if I waited a couple weeks, the hop burn would probably be gone and dissipate to nothing. But if I drank this like a week old, I think it would just be too much for me. But that's about the only two things I can knock it for. I mean, it doesn't have like the best flavor I've ever had in a, you know, triple IPA, but it's up there. It's really good. So Drip Trip from North Park and Tripping Animals. I have absolutely no issues giving this a low 4.5 out of 5. Go 4.4 out of 5. This is great. Definitely deserves into the low 4 or 5 range at the very least. If you like, you know, big triple dry hopped beers, and if you like hazy triple IPAs that, you know, don't have any alcohol and taste like a fruit bowl, this would be for you. Price point availability, I looked up on their website. Typically, these triple dry hop triple IPAs from them, the hazy versions, usually are $24 to $26 depending on the beer. So this is either $24 or $26 here, Hotel or anybody else who had picked this one up. What did you pay for it? But kind of in that realm. And availability, North Park does see drips and drabs outside of California. I know some friends on the East Coast have gotten drops of their beers before, but it's not all that prevalent. It's a little bit rare. But if you live in probably Southern California or in California in general, you probably can get your hands on their stuff occasionally. I think I've had some friends say in Arizona they were able to grab their stuff, but outside of that, I really don't know. So if anybody knows their exact distro, let me know. But I'm really happy that Sierra Hotel sent this one and a couple other North Park beers. I love North Park. They do great stuff. I love Hop Foods, a fantastic modern West Coast IPA, and they do these triple dry hopped hazy beers extremely well, and this is another great example of that. So if you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.